Sarcastic comment loading. Guys, welcome back to the show, and today we got something cool for you because we haven't done a video game pickup episode in quite a while due to our, pandemic, no haircuts, that kind of thing. So guys, sit back, relax, enjoy this show, and if you're not subscribed, well, hit the button wherever that is, and hit the bell for those up-and-coming event thingies or whatever the heck you call it, and just enjoy some of the games I picked up. And you know what? I always remember, guys, comment below. Let me know what games you may have picked up recently. I want to know too. Let's just chat and communicate and become friends again, because that's what the world needs right now. So let's get straight to it. Okay, so one of the consoles that I do like to collect for is the PSP. And I found PSP title that I've been looking for, so I was quite happy because now with this wonderful everybody stay at home thing, it's kind of hard to find stuff, so I'm very happy to do this episode. And the one thing that I found was Alien Syndrome for the PSP, of course a Sega title, and I'm trying to get every Sega title on every single console. Not as easy as you think, and I'll explain that real soon. So Alien Syndrome, which also looks much different than what I've seen on like the Wii or anything. Now, I didn't give it a shot on the Wii yet, so I don't know if it's the same or not, but this does, according to the box art at the back, look completely different from what I remember seeing on the others. So that's kind of cool. For the 3DS, I picked up a couple titles as well, one being Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon. This was actually a really good deal on Kijiji, and I went out and I did the, drop the money off into can and take it off the doorstep thing and then wash your hands. Very important. That's another thing with all this. Like, even after this video, I want to go wash my hands again because I had all this stuff put in a box since the pickup, so don't touch your face and so on. You know the routine. But another one that I've been waiting for was Super Monkey Ball 3D. That's right, boys and girls. You can play the Monkey Ball game on the 3DS. Okay, so I'm going to jump into some Xbox One titles, and then I'll get into the other part that's more important to me, and I'll explain why in a minute. So one of the Xbox One titles is The Crew 2. This was another pickup at the doorstep type thing. I was pretty happy to get that, because one, haven't had any of those, so I thought it was kind of neat, and it's something I like anything to do with cars, right? So that was kind of neat. Injustice 2. Now, this is cool because, this is DC, a fighting game from DC, basically. And, I don't know, it was a game that I wanted to check it out, but I didn't want to check it out unless it was a really good deal. And I got a really good deal with this guy. In the package, of course, I ended up getting NHL 19. And you guys are going to go, why? Why did you buy NHL 19?
Because I don't have it. That's why.
The creme de la creme to the creme. Ooh, you don't want my ninja skills coming out, because then there'll be another sarcastic thing loading, because I'll just stand there like. It's the Sega Genesis Collection on the Xbox One. I've been waiting for this ever since it came out, but I refuse to I refuse to pay $40 for it. I know, sounds stupid, but it just seems like it's the same thing over and over and over on every console, but it's a have-to-have. And I got a great, I can't even say anything anymore. Great deal on it from eBay. Actually, I think I paid $25 for it delivered. I normally don't like to talk about price. That was actually a pretty good deal. All right. What have I been hunting down? So during this pandemic where we're all can't go out, hang out with our friends or anything anymore, I wanted to try and complete my Wii Sega collection. That's right. So I've been trying to collect every Wii game made or endorsed or whatever by Sega. I'm about 4, maybe 5 short. I'm pretty sure I got all the hitters. It's just some weird, stupid games that are driving me nuts. And then I also found out there's a Nancy Drew game, which isn't even on the American list, but it came out in Canada. I'm very confused about that. So it's not on the list, but I'm going to get it because I found it while I was snooping around. But I don't have it yet. And we'll start this off with the Wacky World of Sports by Sega. And you know what? It's just a wacky looking sport game. Then we have Tournament of Legends. Sega again, of course. All these are going to be Sega titles. I'm pretty sure I didn't buy anything unless it was Sega. And all of this has pretty much come to me from all over Canada. Now, that's another thing I've been trying to do. This is something interesting. I've been trying to just order within Canada. I know that seems weird, but I'm Canadian. But, I mean, it seems weird, but ever feel like when you're in a situation like this, what's going on in the world, that maybe you order from your own country thinking it's safer, but really deep down it actually really isn't? There's no such thing as safer, but I just tried to keep it Canadian and more local, so it was kind of like the Ontario, Quebec, and the worst thing is, Quebec is the worst hit place in Canada, and some of these games came from there, so remember, I gotta wash my hands again. So anyway, moving on is Iron Man. I still need to get Iron Man 2, but here's Iron Man. And all these games, of course, were complete and really good condition, so I was very happy about that because I'm very picky about, one, what you put in your collection, but two, when it's your Sega titles, you want them to be mint, yo! Planet 51. I mean, some of these games are not, state-of-the-art great games, but they are Sega titles that I needed. So it didn't matter, they were getting put in. And the sad part is I still think I paid like almost $10 for this. I'm sure yard selling that I'd be able to find some of these things for like $2, $1, whatever. But then I start thinking, man, are we even going to have yard sales? And you're sitting at home bored. What do you do when you're bored? You go on Amazon, you go on eBay, you go wherever, and you spend money. Right. In a pandemic, you're spending money you don't have. But that made sense to me. But, when you're trying to do something, sometimes late at night you get bored and you start clicking and logging in and looking at some of the games that you were looking for, and you go, oh, the heck with it. I got a bit of PayPal money here, let's spend it. And that's what ends up happening. And the next thing I got, and it is Let's Tap. Now, I thought of this and I'm like, really? Sega, you did this? But it's actually kind of neat looking. It's like a tapping game, which I thought was kind of odd in the beginning, but it just kind of has got that weird coolness to it. There's some, looks like different games to it, like Rhythm Tap and Silent Blocks and Bubble Voyager and stuff. So it's not just like a tapping game as such, but I just thought it was an odd title that I never would have thought Sega had put their title on, and they did. So there we go, I got it, and that is that. Again, moving forward, there's going to be some weird games coming up in the video to make this Sega Wii collection finalized, and I would never have bought them any other reason. So 2 games left. So one of them is Thor. This is probably the worst condition game I got out of them all. There's a couple little spots here in the case. I mean, I can change the case, but that does actually affect the paper behind it as well. But it's not in bad shape overall. It's just that kind of upsets me a little. But it was kind of a game that I knew wasn't worth anything, and I was still paying more than what I should, and I figured, oh, what the heck, let's get Thor, let's get it done, because there wasn't too many out there, mainly probably because people just didn't want to buy it, but I don't know. You know what, I've never really never really played the superhero games from Sega, recent stuff, so maybe this stuff's great. I mean, they kept the IP for this long, so they must be doing something right. So I guess I'll have to check out one of them at some point. Will it be Thor? Probably not, but we'll check it out. I mean, I still got to get the Incredible Hulk. Why? Because I can turn green if I try hard enough. In other words, if I actually die and then I decay a little, I might go green, right? That would make me look like the Hulk, except for just not very big. Last but not least is probably the game that I had the most trouble finding. There was actually 3 of them put out under the Wii for the Sega, and it was one of those games where it's kind of cool, but it's kind of hard and it's kind of annoying. And that is the Monkey Ball series. So this is Super Monkey Ball Step and Roll. Now, I've never ever seen this one, never played it, didn't even know it existed until I was actually hunting down Sega titles based on the North American releases. And to my, there was 3 Monkey Ball games for the Wii. I really didn't know that. And it could just be, honestly, a port from maybe the portable, because they did the the 3DS stuff and so on. So there's a high chance that maybe it's just a port of one of their portable titles that they had put out and figured, hey, the Switch or the Wii or whatever can do all that motion woo stuff too, so let's put it out. Who knows? I don't know. But anyway, that is it for what I picked up. I think it's a decent pickup. It wasn't like, woo, I got the craziest games in the world. There's some cool titles there, but most of it is kind of like filler, but you need it if you're trying to do a complete of something. And guys, let me know. What do you think? Do you think this was yay or nay or whatever? And don't say yay or nay about me. That'll just make me cry, and I don't want to cry, right? Because that's not cool. But anyway, I'm really happy that I got some of this stuff so I could actually do one of these videos. Because again, it's been so pro computer lately, and don't get me wrong, I love it, and it's sad to say this because just one second, I'm actually working on more computer stuff, water cooling and stuff, and doing some other stuff for you guys, so that's all coming because I'm constantly trying to, 1, better my unit, and 2, I have fun with the computer stuff. It's a lot of fun. I mean, if you like building or fiddling, you'll love it. Like, to get into this hobby can be ridiculous, but it can be ridiculously fun. There's so many cool things you can do. And I'm testing out these water coolers for my personal build. So you're going to see that coming soon. I'm trying to, pimp my computer and show you guys my latest gaming rig. Still waiting for a couple parts to show up, but I'm sure you guys are going to love it. If you're a PC fan or a nice gaming fan for PC-based gaming and stuff like that, you're going to love what I'm about to do. At least I hope you will. I mean, I'm thinking in my head I'm going to love it, but we'll have to see how that works out. So guys, again, I hope you liked my pickup video. Comment below, what pickups did you guys get recently? How you doing? Like, just shout out. Just say, hey man, I'm doing great. Thanks for that video. Or, hey man, I was doing great till I watched your video. And just don't do that anymore. You know what I'm saying? And then I'll be like, wow, that was really not cool. And then you'll be like,
I don't care.
And I'm going to be like, wow. So anyway, guys, till next time, it's game over.